Hi everybody, it is Tuesday, 1st of Feb. I meant to do one more thing. There's another trade I put on yesterday. I had to actually dash out and help my sister with something, so I didn't get a chance to make this video yesterday. But nonetheless, I mean, the price of the price of the options will barely have changed within one day. So I put a trade on. It's BT. It's one I've been watching very closely. Obviously, I had this big gap down last week. That was on the back of some more accounting problems with their business over in Italy. So initially, when this started coming out last year, they put aside, I think it was around 140 million as a cost of this sort of screw up. But in the results last week, that cost had ballooned to over 500 million. Obviously, as a result of that, we've seen this big gap down. So it seems to have found a bid around the £3 sort of level. I mean, it's lost nearly half its value now, literally in about exactly the last year. But looking back, I mean, BT is a pretty steady stock here in the UK. It pays a decent dividend, especially the yield now is not too bad where it is, and it's a sort of similar to sort of Vodafone. It's a sort of solid sort of blue chip stock that we have in the UK, and something that the pension funds, investment funds tend to buy. So it's obviously had a bit of a bad trot, but a lot of the facets of its business are still pretty good. I mean, it's really got going with the football coverage in the last few years. I'm a big cricket fan, and it's got a lot of the Big Bash on it now, and Australian cricket as well. So, and obviously all the broadband stuff. So it does plenty of facets to his business that are pretty good. I mean, this is a big level, this sort of 290 level. It's not quite got there. This was a big sort of breakout from back in 2013. It's really never even thought about sort of revisiting those levels. So, I mean, this could be old resistance. It could become new support again. I mean, the obvious target, if this is a turnaround, it does find support and the buyers retake control, would simply be a move back to 350, which again, we see this level. It was old resistance here, became support. It was support again early in the year, well at the tail end of last year rather. So that would be the obvious place if there is a bit of a turnaround that it would target. So there's a number of things we could do with this one. You could just sell puts. The problem with that is that now it's about a £3 share. The premium will have come down and it won't be that great. So you'd have to sell to make it worthwhile. You'd have to sell quite a few puts. So we're talking maybe 15, 20 or whatever, and obviously with a thousand shares per contract, that's quite a large exposure, a large amount of shares to be exposed to. Having said that, my broker's telling me she's had a few people, they actually bought the stock, a few of her clients, and sold some puts to offset the cost of buying the share. Of course, the other thing you could do if you wanted to buy the stock, you could start selling covered calls. So if you bought the stock around £3 level, you could maybe go out to for instance, a September £3.40 is about 12p. So you could sell some of those. Obviously, if the stock goes up, then at least you hold the stock. If it doesn't really go anywhere, then you can keep the call premium that you take in. So that could be one way of doing it. The way I've done, I've simply just bought some calls on this one. So I bought 30 September £3.50 calls to target this level. I mean, it's plenty of time. If the buyers do gain control of that, September's completely realistic. It could make it back to 350. Even if you was to take another leg lower first, maybe have a little bit of a fake out under the £3 level, it's still time for recovery for September. So yeah, I bought 30 of the £3.50 calls, I paid 9p for those, so an outlay of £2,700 on that one. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Just on a slightly broader sense, just have a very quick look back at the FTSE. The battle continues. Really, it was. I mean, I think it seemed to be it seems to be driven by sort of comments out from Donald Trump, but it got sold pretty aggressively yesterday afternoon. But it didn't breach. It closed below the sort of 71.20 level that I see as being key, but didn't breach that and came straight back this morning. We're off the highs, but we're well off the lows as well. So we shall see. That, as I say, the battle goes on, and we'll see what happens with that one. Just finally, I had a couple of sort of comments and questions through. I really appreciate those. Thank you very much. Some nice comments as well. Just a couple of points. A couple of guys have asking about doing a little bit more on the economic cause and effect stuff, talking about interest rates and things. I'm presuming that kind of relates to the video I made a couple of days, at the end of last week, about the German inflation numbers, which, by the way, came out pretty strong, 1.9 year on year. Their inflation number was on Monday afternoon. So yeah, I mean, it's a big topic for me, and I think it's going to be the thing that this relationship between inflation, interest rates, and then just the crazy amount of debt that the developed world seems to be holding at the moment, and how that debt's going to get exponentially more expensive as rates go up, which at some point they will do. So yeah, I'll try and I think I'll probably try and fire up my PowerPoint for that one. I mean, I could talk about it all day, but I can probably squeeze something into about 15 minutes. Yeah, because I think apart from the sort of constitutional votes and the potential referendums in Europe, I think that's going to be the big thing that's going to drive the markets. Is going to be the sort of way we transfer into higher rates, because a lot of this is built on inflated asset prices, and that's built on low inflation and low interest rates, and with all the money that's been printed, that simply just won't go on forever. But yeah, I'll work on a video for that. I appreciate your comments, and yeah, I hope you go well with the trading.